Good evening and thanks for joining us. It's only been a couple of days since the provincial government announced that it would reduce the HST rate to 10% if it passes the upcoming referendum. And already there's been a substantial shift in public opinion. A new poll done exclusively for Global News shows a substantial majority of people approve of the changes. And if those people actually follow through and vote, the results suggest there's now a real possibility that the HST will survive. Keith Baldry has our top story.
Finance Minister Kevin Falcon was making his sales pitch on the HST today, this time taking his message to the business community.
There are 140 countries around the world that all utilize a tax similar to HST. They call it something else. They call it a value-added tax. But I do think it is instructive that 140 countries around the world go to a value-added tax or an HST, including a majority of the provinces in Canada, as opposed to going back to a retail sales tax.
His appearance at the Vancouver Board of Trade comes just days after he unveiled a host of changes to the HST, including a promise to reduce it by 2 points and a plan to issue $175 transition checks to seniors and families with children. And now a new poll for Global News shows the changes have gone over well with the public. The poll by Ipsos Reid shows 16% of British Columbians strongly approve of the changes, while 44% somewhat approve, for a total approval rating of 60%. On the other hand, just 13% disapprove somewhat, while 20% disapprove strongly, for a total disapproval rating of just 33%.
The changes have made it a very tight race, probably too close to call at this point. It's gone from a big gap in favor of the anti-HST forces to essentially a toss-up at this point.
The changes seem to have altered public opinion on the upcoming HST referendum significantly. Now, 42% say they want to keep the HST, up 6 points from just 2 weeks ago, while 40% still want to go back to the old PST and GST, a big drop of 12 points. And 18% are undecided, up 6 points as well. The turnaround in public opinion on the HST, unheard of months ago, may be enough to save the tax.
When the HST was first announced, it was close to 85% opposed. We saw that drop down to the mid-60s and then to the down to the 50s. So this is a bit of a surprise.
Results of the poll got a cautiously optimistic response from the man in charge of selling the tax to British Columbians.
I hope it resonates with the public, because that's what we heard from the public. They wanted us to deal with the impact of HST, and the plan we put in place eliminates any additional cost for all families on average.
When it was first introduced, the HST ignited white-hot anger across BC. Now it seems there is a good chance a majority of people may actually end up voting to keep it.